Manchester United appoint Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the new interim manager for the remainder of the season. Now, I don't really know what to make of this, to be honest. I didn't think before we'd heard the news, obviously, that Jose Mourinho had been fired as Manchester United manager. I didn't really know what to make now that I've heard this news, because I didn't think that he would become the new interim manager, but to be honest, things were going down a blind alley in recent weeks terribly, and so to be honest, I know people have said that if we do sack Jose Mourinho and just bring in any old Tom, Dick or Harry, it could get worse. Now, it could get worse. It is true, it could get a bit worse, but it's not going to get bad enough that Manchester United will get relegated, is it? Let's be real about it. But the only thing is, Manchester United have sacked Jose Mourinho before the halfway mark in the season, so there is still time to challenge for something domestically, or I don't know. I don't even think we've got any chance against PSG in the Champions League. I would be a fool to think that at this stage, but we can at least challenge maybe for the FA Cup and maybe even challenge for the top four still. I think that is highly unlikely that we can challenge for the top four, but there's still such a long way to go. But I think Manchester United have been looking around at who to get in, because they must have been talking about sacking Mourinho for a number of weeks, because it has just been getting worse and worse. Things are just not getting nowhere improving at all in any areas of the pitch for Manchester United. So they must have been thinking about who to get. But it is strange that we're hearing that Solskjaer recently signed a new contract at Mould for, I think it's a 2 or 3 year contract, only a couple of weeks ago. And now I just don't understand how he can be the new Manchester United manager. It is a bit baffling. I personally thought that Manchester United would go with someone in club. Now, I wouldn't have personally given it to Carrick. I would have personally given it to Kieran McKenna till the end of the season, because he worked wonders with the under-18s. But Solskjaer has got experience. He managed the reserve team a few years back. Well, it's quite a few years back now. So he does know the club. There are 2 pluses there. He's Manchester United through and through, so that is a massive plus for Manchester United. It's just that I'm not too sure he's good enough, obviously, to take Manchester United forward. I'm not thinking of that, but if Manchester United could just steady the ship now between now and the end of the season, and maybe we could see some young talents get the chance that haven't been given much game time recently. I mean, you're even looking at players that have had minutes in the past, likes of Angel Gomez and Andreas Pereira, who Andreas Pereira hardly ever plays for Manchester United, and Angel Gomez hasn't featured since Yeovil last season. So, I mean, there are other players that could do with getting game time as well. Fred just never hardly plays. Chong hasn't yet featured for the first team when he probably should have done by now, and Mason Greenwood hasn't yet featured when he's well in his rights to be in with a shout for a place in the squad, at least for certainly dead rubber games like that one against Valencia. So hopefully we're going to see a more happier camp. Players that haven't been featuring nowhere near enough as well, like Eric Bay, should hopefully get given a chance to impress Solskjaer in the coming weeks, and hopefully things can improve with a happy camp. Hopefully things will get better on the pitch. The players might express themselves more. Hopefully we see some more exciting football anyway. And as I say, we've still got things to look forward to. I mean, that's a massive tie against PSG coming up in the new year. That is something to look forward to. I mean, they've got some absolute world-class players in their team. Okay, Neymar might be a cheat, but he's a world-class player. You've got Mbappe, who's probably the best young talent in world football. You've got the likes of Cavani in there, and that snake Di Maria will be returning to Manchester United to play probably. So they've got some fantastic players. It gives Manchester United's players a great opportunity to put on a show, certainly at Old Trafford over them 2 legs, and you never know in the Champions League. Manchester United could maybe impress over the 2 games, maybe not go through, but impress, and it might be some exciting things to look forward to for the future. We might be able to just get ourselves a bit happier and look forward to the future, because it's been so doom and gloom for Manchester United. People are just thinking that nothing's ever going to change with how the team is, and thinking that the team is so bad, but I think it's somewhere in between. I don't think it's nowhere near as bad as Jose Mourinho was making it out to be, and to be expressing on the pitch. It certainly shouldn't be 11 points behind the Champions League spots in 6th position. Whether we should be in 6th, yes, we should be in at least 6th position with the current way we've played this season, but we shouldn't be, in terms of the personnel, 11 points behind, nowhere near. I mean, we should at least be challenging for the top 4 places with the personnel we've got, and I think that a lot of these players are going to have to really step up to the mark now under Solskjaer, because they can't be hiding behind the fact that Mourinho had lost the dressing room anymore, because this is a brand new manager. I mean, the likes of Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku, Jesse Lingard, they've all got to step up to the plate, and obviously personnel on the pitch has got to change. We cannot keep playing Marouane Fellaini week in, week out. We cannot keep playing Ashley Young at left back and right back and Antonio Valencia there. We cannot continue to do that, and I'm hoping that Solskjaer will see that and will adjust them areas, because that was one of Mourinho's downfalls, ever playing Ashley Young at fullback. So let's just look forward anyway. It wasn't the manager appointment that I was expecting, but am I disappointed? No, I'd prefer this to keeping Mourinho, because things were getting worse and worse. I mean, 36 shots on goal against Manchester United for Liverpool. That is like Manchester United playing a lower league team, like someone in the first. I mean, that's like Liverpool playing Salford City or something like that. It is that one-sided. You would expect that from a relegation side that's trying to just hold out for a 0-0. It really was that poor. So I don't think performances can surely be as bad as that. Anyway, even if we don't, we probably won't climb the table this season, but we're pretty much out of the race for the top 4, barring a miracle anyway. So let's just look forward. Hopefully some happy performances, maybe a couple of more better performances anyway, like we saw against Fulham. Hopefully we'll see a few more of them, because we've nowhere near seen enough of them this season. And we can look forward. Next season we will have to rebuild on who's going to be the new manager, get a director of football in as well. The talk at the moment is that Pochettino is going to be the man that Manchester United want for next season. I believe that he will be the next manager. I'm not overly confident in him succeeding at Manchester United at this moment. I'm not sure whether he is. I've got mixed feelings about him, but he's done very well at Tottenham. I'm not saying he hasn't, but Tottenham aren't the massive club that Manchester United are. No disrespect to Tottenham, but Manchester United, as Manchester United manager, you've basically got to be challenging for honours, and at Tottenham he hasn't always challenged for honours, I admit, with a lot less budget than at Manchester United. So things may change at Manchester United, but I'm not going to say that he's definitely the man that's going to come in and go on and win trophies, because I thought that with Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, that they were both going to take Manchester United back to the glory days, and they were proven winners that have won mostly everything in the game. And at this moment in time, Pochettino hasn't done that. So that's my only concern, is that he hasn't yet delivered with a massive club like Manchester United, with the pressure that will come with the Manchester United job. But I'm not saying he can't do this. I would have been a bit worried if we'd had Pep Guardiola as well, because he had star-studded teams at Bayern Munich and Barcelona. But he's come to the Premier League and proved that he can turn Manchester City, okay, with a lot of money, into a fantastic team as well. But I have my problems with Zidane as well as being manager. Although Zidane has won 3 Champions Leagues, which is absolutely fantastic, I've still got my feelings that if he comes to Manchester United, it's a massive rebuilding job, getting the dead wood out of the club. And can he do that? He will probably get better out of the players, because he's a great man management, but I'm still not totally convinced whether he could do it with a limited squad as well, because whoever comes in isn't going to be able to turn this squad into a vintage Barcelona or Real Madrid team. It's just not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a few transfer windows. It's probably going to take some errors as well along the way. So it is a rebuilding process. It's who can rebuild this team back up, not who's going to come in and just get better out of a squad and go on and win Champions Leagues. Because even if you get better out of this squad, they are a million miles away from winning Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, even if you get the full maximum potential out of this squad. Even if Pep Guardiola or whoever you want, Jurgen Klopp, if Pep Guardiola come into this club, he would be demanding that he got at least probably 150 million on. He would probably want at least 1 new fullback. He'd probably want 2 new centre halves. He'd probably want at least 1 or 2 midfielders. he would probably want a lot of money spent on this squad, because that's what he did at Man City. He went and told the board at Man City, I want 2 new fullbacks, I want centre halves and all sorts. And that's probably what he would want at Manchester United, and probably Pochettino will need that as well. So it's going to take time. Whoever the manager is that comes in, you could go for the best in the business, and they will need time and to get better players in, because you're only going to get so much out of them, some of these players. But there is still a fantastic squad in amongst this that can definitely do better, and could and should be challenging for at least FA Cups and stuff of that magnitude. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this appointment. I wasn't too sure who it was going to be. It was a bit, I thought it should be someone in club, but we've gone for a person that has been at Manchester United, has been reserve team manager, and is now coming back, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See you.